Yeah, it's me. I'm still alive. A little bit of a prolonged absence, but I'm here again. Um, anyway, it is Tuesday morning, um, day after St. Patrick's Day. Hence the green. You usually don't wear green, but well, yesterday was the day to do it. So there we go. That's why I wore. Mm. So yeah, it's been about 2 weeks now since the last update. Sorry. And before I forget anything else, so I can fall asleep in a little while. Got my gummies. And got my Sharky. Right, so what has happened in the last 2 weeks? A few things have happened. I got my taxes done. That was a rip-roaring good time there. Actually got a bit of a refund this year, so yay. Nothing from the federal, as expected. Actually, I had to pay in on that one, about $21. Yeah, $21. Got a few hundred back from the state, so it wasn't a total wash. But as it so happens, the amount I got back from the state is almost equal to the amount that I got paid to my HOA at the end of the month. So there's really nothing gained there whatsoever. Anyway, I filed that on Saturday, a week and a half ago. Got the deposit back on Friday, so that was pretty nice. Let's see. Finally did get my windshield replaced. I'm not sure if I mentioned that in the last video, but I was getting sick of the crack in the windshield expanding and contracting, so I finally got in touch with insurance and got the appointment set up, everything. Got my car ready for an oil change. A week later, they tell me that everything looks good for the most part. They did mention that the belt is beginning to crack, so just gotta start preparing for that at some point. I know, not a major expenditure really, but just annoying to have to do it. Um, so just trying to recap that week. Um, yeah, that was the week that we had the large snowstorm. That didn't turn out to be that large, but it was still enough to keep me stuck at home thanks to my car's inability to navigate the snow. So that was fine. I got to play Monster Hunter. Let's see. But the big thing I've had from the past couple weeks was a week ago today, actually, almost to the hour. I had my in-person appointment with the endocrinologist um, down at the Mayo main campus, and everything looked okay, save for um, my iron level, my was it the red blood cells that has to do with carrying the oxygen. Um, those numbers are kind of low, but I'm anemic. That's to be expected, I guess. Um, but the big thing I got out of it was I decided to ask and see where I was as far as surgery goes, and the doctor got in touch with her nursing staff, and they responded before the appointment was over. They informed her, who then informed me that I at that point in time was eighth on the list for the waiting list on getting my surgery. So I don't know what that actually means as far as actual time goes, but that means I have 7 people ahead of me before it's my turn to get my affirming surgery. So kind of a big deal for me, you know. I've been waiting for this for several years, decades really. So to know that it's within my grasp finally, I mean that's pretty huge. just gotta I just gotta weather the next few weeks until I can actually get the call to get it scheduled. They say that they schedule out about 12 weeks, and if I don't know what what the spacing is between patients and recovery time and everything, but it I gotta assume that it's between 2 and 3 weeks between. At which point, I should be expecting that call from the clinic within the next 3 to 4 weeks, I would think. So it's coming, it's getting there. I'm nervous, as I'm sure you can probably understand, but it's a good nervous. I mean, I've been looking forward to this, anticipating it, ever since I started my journey. Well, even before it really, but prior to that, it was more of a pipe dream for me. And when I found out that my care is covered by insurance, that's when I was like, oh, this can actually be a thing for me. That is awesome. I am going to go for it. And now it's almost within my grasp. I mean, it's just a couple more inches, I think, and then I have it in my hand. So, but yeah, that was a long day though. That driving. The parking situation at the clinic is terrible. People don't know how to navigate a parking garage apparently. But yeah, got home, holed up, played some more Monster Hunter. I am absolutely loving Monster Hunter Wilds, by the way. And I think I touched on that last time, but yeah, I've just been absolutely loving it from start to finish. Haven't actually cleared the entire storyline yet, but I'm savoring it at this point. Just taking the time to hunt everything that I can to build all my weapon and armor sets and everything. So I've probably logged a good 60 hours into it already. But how much of that was actually spent idle, I don't know. Oh yeah, I'm not wearing any makeup right now, so if I look a little uglier than usual, well, that's why. I had an issue yesterday that popped up. I've been using this under eye cream it's supposed to be for fine lines and wrinkles and reduce the tiredness of eyes and everything. Well, it was a brand new jar, right? Problem was it actually expired in January of last year. So I thought I'd still try it anyway, just because it had been sealed all that time. But 3 days in, it actually had made my under eyes so sensitive that they hurt even without touching them. And so I decided to give myself a break from makeup last night. Well, here I am, all natural except for maybe some residual mascara on my eyelashes. Let's see. Yeah, speaking also last night. Yeah, yeah. You heard me. Speaking of also of last night. Yeah, great English there. Yeah. Um, St. Patrick's Day, we had cookies. Cookies at work. Big all fucking box of cookies, and they were decent size. I mean, they weren't like Oreo size or anything. They were several inches wide, in diameter. But anyway, I take one, I eat it, and I'm thinking at that point is, God, these cookies are terrible. And then I just go reach for another one, eat that too. It should not be that way. It really shouldn't. And then at the end of the night, despite knowing how terrible the cookies were, I had a third. And that's when my gut keeps getting bigger. Because I can't resist the goodies that they bring in at work. Oh, yeah. A fun fact, speaking of sizes, getting bigger, smaller, whatever. They took my vitals at the clinic before I had my appointment. Checked my height, weight, and yeah. When I first started my HRT, they had me at 5'9", uh, 5 feet 9 inches, and two tenths of an inch. They measured me on Tuesday, and they got me down to 5'8" and 7/10 of an inch. So, according to their measurements, I've lost half an inch on the HRT. So, it's not much, but it does make me happy. And I know it's kind of backwards thinking to most people, but the way I look at it is, how would I put this? Back when I was presenting and trying to live like a regular guy, I was right at 5'9", and that's, I guess that's right at average for a white American, and I don't know. It's like, in comparison to my own family, I am far and away the shortest of the bunch. I mean, my brothers were all, they're all over 6 feet tall. I think that at least one of them reached about 6'2", 6'3". I might be mistaken on that, but I'm pretty sure that one of them reached that, if not two of them. So, and they've all outweighed me by at least 100 pounds for the last eternity. So I was far and away the runt of the family, even compared to, my dad always had the size advantage. I mean, I think when he died, he was still about 6 feet tall, even though he had wasted away into nothing. But on the other hand, there was my mom and my sister, who are both a bit under 5.5 feet, like 5'3", 5'4", 5'4", 5'5", something like that. Anyway, but so yeah, I was always undersized for my family, and not really undersized compared to most American males, especially of especially compared to other white folks. Meanwhile, on the other side, there's the average height range of the typical American white woman is, I want to say that 5'9" is like the maximum height that is average, or maybe it's 5'7". Sorry, I'm having a bit of a muddled memory there, but you know, so my being 5'9", always just made me feel like an outlier. Not much of an outlier because it's still fairly common to see a woman at 5'9", but you do tend to stand out a little bit, especially if you wear heels. So it's a big part of why I don't wear heels in public most of that most for most of God, I cannot talk. Guys must be kicking in. For most occasions, I just don't do heels. But so yeah, if I could see that my height, drop a little bit to be more in line with the typical cisgendered woman, then yeah, I'll be happy to to be more apt to blend in. And I know it's only half an inch, but every little bit helps, Yeah, yeah. It's a tangent, I know. Oh yeah. Yeah, that melatonin is kicking in. So just curious, how do you think of the lighting? Um, so I finally got around to putting up the Christmas present that my brother and sister-in-law gave me this past year. And it took 3 months to do it, but I got around to it finally. It's it's a Super Mario Brothers question block. With you know a neon sign really. So I plugged it in, turned it on, turned up the brightness, and using that for my backlight now. Seems to work pretty well. Makes things a little too bright when I'm trying to sleep, but yeah, it's okay. Uh, yeah, I think that's about it. Um, I'm getting really tired. The sleep is kicking in. So, with that said, I will bid you adieu and upload this hopefully before I pass out. Oh yeah, actually, I almost did pass out for real over the weekend. So, not really sure what's going on there. I got up from my recliner, climbed up the stairs to use the bathroom, and in the middle of all that, I started to just notice that my consciousness was slipping, and I didn't actually pass out, but I was on the verge of it. It was shouldn't say that it scared me because I've dealt with it before, but I was annoyed. But anyway, yeah, I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed now. Got one more night of work to go yet, and then I'm off for a few days. But probably not going anywhere tomorrow because we have another blizzard coming in. They're saying anywhere from 4 to 9 inches. So I'll probably just stay home after I get off from work and just ride out the storm. Lucky I've got pizzas. So with that, I shall bid you all a fond day. and we'll talk to you again later.
Yay.